Hi, everybody. Welcome back to She-Bird Podcast. Today I have Terra Newell as my guest. So, hi, Terra.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on. So, can you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself?
So, my name is Terra Newell. I am best known for the Dirty John podcast, the Dirty John series. I am the real life person who defended myself against Dirty John Meehan, in a knife attack. And he was my mom's husband at the time and my stepdad. And he came after me and tried to kill me, and I was able to defend myself.
Wow, that's amazing. So, with all that you have been going through, how are you coping today?
Today I'm doing amazing. I have a retreat this weekend, so I've just been busy planning this, but I always take time to put self-care or like little holes in my schedule where I'm able to take time for myself and not have a burnout, and also to not get triggered. I go to yoga every day, so I'm feeling great today. How are you?
I'm great. I've been through something similar, not exactly like yours, but something similar to it. So I do see a therapist every now and then, like
Okay.
she's trying to help. But are you still working with animals, or did you change your career?
So with the Dirty John series, everything, it kind of pushed me forward in the media. And I realized that a lot of people were coming to me because they learned from my story and really just like told me their story, told me that it helped get them out of a situation by seeing my story on the TV or in the podcast, and that people could really relate to me, my mom,
Mhm.
and so many people. And so I, I had to do some more healing myself in order to get to a great place to help other people. But I just continued forward in that and continue to heal myself, and then gain so much knowledge about narcissists, self-healing, somatic awareness, or somatic experiencing, whatever you want to call that. And just really gain tools in order to help me heal, and also gain and teach knowledge for education about like narcissist abuse and sociopaths, psychopaths, anything along that line. So like I talk a lot about love bombing, gaslighting. If you follow me on Instagram, I have videos, and I also have a YouTube channel, but it's not as it's not as
Gotcha.
active as most.
Yeah, because your mom, like when I watched the TV show, I related a lot to your mom. I see the good in people and I don't see the bad in people. Like I
Yeah.
always try to see, oh, they may be good, and then I'll stay in the relationship even though I know it's toxic, and it makes my mom so mad. She's like, "Why do you do this? You have to learn your worth. Like, just don't do that."
Well, it's really complicated when you're in that relationship, because you are, well, like first they're treating you really nice and great at the beginning, and then they do things that don't make you feel so good, but it's like they do like these highs and lows, but when you get to the low you're hoping for the high, and it actually affects the brain the same way as it does drugs and sugar and so on. So you are chemically attached to this relationship, and so it's so hard to get out of that relationship. It's just not as easy to just leave.
Right. That's what I was trying
Yeah.
to tell her. Like, I was with this guy for a year. I wasted a year of my life with this guy, and I kept trying to commit suicide last year. And she was like, that's not right. And she was like, "You're gonna have me beating up this guy." Because he was really bad. Like really,
Yeah.
he was more verbally and mentally abusive. He wasn't really physically abusive, but he definitely like made me feel ugly and fat. So I was like, wasn't eating, I was passing out at work. So stuff, it was just really bad.
Well, sometimes that can be the worst relationship. And
Mhm.
I don't want to compare traumas, because someone who is abused is abused. And I want people to know that that's wrong and not right. And everybody's story is their story. And their trauma should be heard and recognized, and no one should ever be treated that way. But when you are sometimes verbally abusive and coerced in this relationship, when you leave, or when you finally leave this relationship, or if this person loses control over this person, they actually have a tendency to snap later and plan a murder or whatnot, where yes, it is extremely dangerous being in an abusive, like domestic violence, physical relationship, but those people are more reactive. So if they are going to kill you, in a sense, it's going to because they lose their, they just lose it and they go too far into it. And that's never okay. But the psychopath or the narcissist sometimes will plan their revenge and plan to fully take out this person.
Wow. So how come John came after you instead of your mom? If that's the person he wanted, was your mom. Like, why did he come after you?
So he had this mafia mentality. I think he really wanted to go after my mom also, but he really wanted to go after the kids and kidnap me and my sister. And I'm just speculating because he's dead. I will never know, but this is what I'm assuming. There was also text messages saying that he would go bury my mom, me, and my sister in the Vegas backyard. So, like, he was trying to kill all three of us, but he only got to me. And then when he got to me, well, I'm really happy to be here. And I got the better end of the deal and was able to defend myself.
That's amazing. So in what ways do you help others who have been in toxic relationships and who are going through PTSD?
So I'm a life coach, and I'm a toxic relationship / trauma life coach. A lot of the times the two will go hand in hand, actually, because trauma is, you experience a lot of trauma in traumatic relationships. So it really touches base with everything. But a toxic relationship can even be with your parents. And if you're used to these toxic relationships, you get into this cycle of allowing these people into your life. And it's kind of subconsciously, because you don't know how to break this cycle until you start to gain self-awareness of the situation. And then from there, you typically go and seek some help, find a life coach, or just gain education in this, or a therapist. And from there, that's where you find me. And I go and I look at everything that the person has gone through. And I kind of try to adjust to what the person needs. And then I have several different worksheets that I do. And then, so I'll have them do homework each week, but then I'll do a bi-weekly call with them. That's a 25-minute Zoom call. And then a 5-minute call each week just to check up, or a text message, just depends what the person wants. And then, so that will be accountability, like coaching. And I've seen a lot of progress in my clients where I've had someone who was in a narcissist relationship. She got out of it, and now she did the recovery work, and now she's able to allow someone great into her life. And now we're just holding her accountable, where we're able to recognize the red flags in the situation. So that's what I do with, like, one of my clients, where someone may be further behind in their healing process. And so we just have to start at different points in that. And then I also have a retreat this weekend that's going to have several different speakers speaking. And then there's yoga, and then a guided meditation. And it's going to be great. 3 days of healing.
Nice. Is it too late to sign up for the retreat, or
no? Tomorrow, April 8th at 8 p.m. is the last day. And then if you guys are listening to this and want a special price, let me know, because I'm willing to work with price for the retreat, because I really just want everyone to come and get their healing.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm going to check that out after our conversation. So I do have a question. Why were you and your family so suspicious of John? Like, what gave you indications that he was that way?
So it's really easy to see from the outside in. If you're looking at a toxic relationship, a lot of times other people can see that that person's toxic, but the person in that relationship can't.
Yeah.
So we kind of saw signs of him using my mom's car, moving in right away, and that made us super suspicious because we've also seen this pattern of men in the past with her relationships where she hadn't chose the most great guys.
I
Where
swear
she's
your mom
gotten
is like me.
yes. Well, like each one had a set of different issues. Not one guy was fully secure, let's say.
That's wow. That
Yeah.
is just like my life. Like the one even before him, the last ex-boyfriend was bad. Like he was more physically abusive. Like he
Yeah.
spit in my face, he threw ashes in my face, he stabbed my bed because he thought he thought I cared more about my bed than him. And then he kicked my dog and he was just abusing both of us. So my dog, I don't know if she has anxiety, separation anxiety or what, but if I leave for like 5 seconds, she will go crazy. And
Oh,
I don't know how to get her out of that. But I see me and my dog, if that
yeah.
sounds right.
Well, I'm really sorry you went through all of that, and just know you never deserve any of that. And I'm really happy you're here today.
Yeah, I am too. My mom she wasn't like as supportive as she is now,
Yeah.
but a lot of my family members contacted her and they was like, you really need to talk to your daughter because if you don't talk to your daughter today, you might lose your daughter. Like I was in the hospital and they was telling her that because I went to the hospital again. Like it was my 8th time in the hospital and they was like, you really need to get the help. And
Yeah.
so I definitely did change my life around.
Well, I'm
So
really happy you made that change and you're here today, and I'm really happy to be talking to you today.
thank you. I'm happy to be talking to you too.
Thanks.
So, in what ways do you celebrate John's death? I read up about that you celebrate John's death. In what ways do you do that?
So it's more so celebrating my survival, and this each year is a major milestone in my recovery. So I really just get a bunch of friends together, or this past year I actually did a charity event, and it was like a yoga healing charity event where all the proceeds went to the foundation When Georgia Smiled for domestic violence. And I just kind of want to do something to help others because that day, well, trauma is held in the body. So no matter what, if you like don't remember what day it is, your body remembers what day it is. So you feel all types of emotions. You may be out of it. You may be tired. You may feel some sort of way. And in order for me not to feel that way, I just do a celebration.
That's amazing. That is. I probably need to start doing that. My mom was like, "You need
Yes.
to go out, do painting or something." I'm like, "Okay, I might." But I'm still trying to cope with everything. So I'm still like depressed. She still notices that I'm depressed, but I'm slowly trying to get out of that. It's
Well,
really tough.
it's a process, like I've been depressed before where, I've tried killing myself before too. And it's a really big hole that you need to dig yourself out of, and you need to realize the reasons for life and why you're here. And I feel like with this podcast, I feel like you have, a journey and a reason to be here. And I would love to know more about like your other life, but you have something guiding you. And why I am alive today is because I realized in that moment that I didn't want to be dead. I wanted to fight for my life. And so for me, I had to have like a major transition wake up. But it's hard.
It really is. It really, really is. So, what advice would you I don't know if I asked you this. What advice would you give those who are going through similar trauma and toxic relationships and who want to get out of those relationships?
So I say that it's not so easy to leave. And I want them to know that, like, leaving abruptly is not the smartest thing. I would get with a therapist or a life coach or someone who knows what to do in the situation. I would confide in really close friends that hopefully kind of understand what's going on or will just be there for you. Send pictures of any abuse. Take screenshots of any text messages that are verbal abuse. You want to gain evidence in order to leave and leave safely, because if he comes after you, you need proof to get a restraining order.
Yeah.
So just keep gathering the evidence and planning out your leave. Save money, put aside money, but you can't. I recommend not having it in the house. I recommend giving it to a friend that you know will actually have the money and keep the money safe for you and not spend it. So I would really try to plan a leave instead of just leaving abruptly. And then there's also a domestic hotline number that you could call. It's like a 1-800. If you Google it, it will come up. But if you call that number too, they can give you advice on how to leave a situation like that for free.
That's amazing. Like my dreams and hopes and goals maybe in the future, like I wanted to have a hotel where it houses domestic abuse women and children. Like and it wouldn't be like they wouldn't have to have money or anything like that. Like it would just house them and then start their lives all over. That's what I wanted to do. But
I love that.
that would be nice.
Well, that's a nonprofit, so you can get money from the state to do that.
Really? I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, no, you just have to get like you have to look in how to start a nonprofit, maybe find someone that knows how to do it that might want to team up with you. And then from there you can apply for that, like the tax ID. And I don't know exactly, I'm not a tax person, but I know that that's really doable for you.
That's amazing. So yeah, because I have had since I started my podcast, I've interviewed like over 80 people so far. So I'm pretty proud of that. And a lot of people that I wouldn't expect, they message me and they're like, because I've been sexually abused, assaulted and beaten while I was sexually abused. So people come to me, they're like, how do I know if I've been raped if I'm in a relationship? And I'm like, even if you are married or in a relationship, if you say no to your person that you're with, that's still rape if they still force you to do it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
a lot of people do not know that at all. And they're like, I feel like I'm obligated to because I'm with them. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no.
No. Yeah. No. Anytime you say no, your no should always be respected. It should never be a game where you say no and then you try more.
Yeah, like, no. So,
No.
can you go into depth about what your retreat is going to be about?
Yes. So I have each day I'm starting out with the intro and we're doing one of my daily journals. And if you want to sign up now, the journal will be sent to you PDF, email, and then the journal will be sent later on to you in the mail so that you have like a actual copy of it. And then I'm going to be talking about my recovery and how I've healed from my trauma and a little bit about my life because I've been in toxic relationships, but I don't share it too much, where I'm going to get a little bit in depth there. I'm going to be talking about relationship patterns, attachment patterns, also trauma within the body. I have Dr. Judy Ho. She's going to be talking about pink flags and how to spot them and how to recover from them. I have Dr. Judith Joseph. She's going to be talking about psych meds. And then I have Brenna, Real Fucking Talk. She is a therapist, and she's gonna be talking about EMDR therapy. I have Skylar. She's gonna be doing yoga Saturday and Sunday at the start of each day. I have Christina Rendon. She is gonna be doing a guided meditation at the end of each day in order to like piece us back together. Also, meditation and yoga, and a lot of the work that we're doing. When you're in PTSD mode or trauma mode, your brain actually changed from that. And so we are rewiring the brain back cognitively and with meditation. And so I'm really excited with that. And then I also have Lacey. She is a trauma survivor. She was in a kidnapping, and she's talking about her survival and her recovery. I have Anna Rose. She's going to be doing a dating detox. I'm missing someone. I have my mother. She's going to be talking about Dirty John and her recovery. And then I have narcissist sociopath awareness, and she's going to be talking about narcissist recovery and so on. So I got a pretty good group.
Yeah, that's a pretty good lineup.
Yeah. And then someone told me it was diverse too. So I don't know if that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's a very good thing because they touch on a lot of topics. You're getting you're going to get a lot of people attending.
Right. I love it.
I'm definitely going to check it out.
Yes.
I want to thank you so much for allowing me to interview you today and speaking about toxic relationships.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed chatting with you and getting to know your story as well.
All right. You have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.